Alright, so we've done the Buffs tab. Now it's only natural to check out the Debuffs tab. This is useful in a lot of different ways. I feel like the most useful is for enemies. It's going to be for checking your uptime on whatever debuffs that you put up on the enemies. There's also lots of stuff that you could do with debuffs on yourself and comparing with a bunch of different stuff, but I feel like the most useful is looking at debuffs on an enemy, and Beasts is a bit of a chaotic fight to pull up the whole thing for, so I'll check Ice Howl alone. And for something like this, you can see that Judgment of Wisdom's up the whole time. This is the section of the fight that Ice Howl is in over the course of the entire Beasts. So now we're going to just kind of look through, and I'll say if I'm looking at the spell power bonus debuff, so that comes from 3 different sources. It comes from either the Unholy Death Knight's Ebon Plague, the Warlock's Curse of Elements, or the Boomkin's Sun and Moon. So I'm just going to kind of look through here for all of those and see if I can find where they are, what their uptime is. So we've got Ebon Plague first. We see that it's got a little gap here, and then a gap here where there's a lot of gaps in debuffs. I have a feeling that this is around the time that he crashes, and so this debuff falls off the boss around then. If I go down here, here's over the moon. We've got another gap right there. Again, likely the crash section, and then I don't know if there's Curse of Elements here, and this fills in a section of that. If I'm looking at, for example, just keeping my debuffs up as a affliction lock, corruption, it shows as being active the entire time. That's what you want. You want to keep that first corruption that you've put up rolling the entire fight. Then you're going to look at Haunt. You want to make sure Haunt doesn't fall off because it's buffing your dots. This is the section where it falls off. Obviously that's the crash phase. I can't recall how long this lasts anymore. So for 12 seconds. So that's the kind of thing where if you can time it to shoot off as he's jumping up in the air, you can probably get it to last a little longer, but it's a pretty long interrupt period. So it's probably pretty hard to keep that up. But that's the kind of debuff that I would be looking for myself as an affliction lock. But you can obviously use it for lots of different classes to compare and improve your debuff uptimes.